So good morning, folks. My name is Tim Ealer, and welcome to my channel. I hope you all doing well this morning. We're on the cusp of a major winter storm spreading across a good portion of southern U.S. into the mid-Atlantic and parts of the South, with the potential for severe weather to the south here with this system, right? Um, but cold air behind it, bitterly cold air. You see air temps up here. That's not accurate. These are air. These are air temps, guys. So anyway, we're going to talk about the colder temperatures as well, but mostly we're going to go over the forecast for the coming days and to go in exquisite detail about the snowfall potential, um, freezing rain potential, and sleet potential. And there's potential for some heavy sleet from what I can see right now, and heavy snow all the way up into the mid-Atlantic. So welcome to my channel. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends. I hope you get something out of this, and let's get started. So to start that off, I'm gonna look at the current hazards here, and you know that for some reason weather-wise isn't showing some of the winter storm stuff. I have to figure out why, but you see extreme cold warnings in the north here, surrounded by cold weather advisories, winter storm warnings, just in general, a lot of cold related warnings here and advisories. And along the lee side of the lakes, cold weather, winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories. Out west here, even into Montana and Colorado here, and probably fog down here in South Texas. Let's see, into southern Florida along the Gulf Coast. And out west here, we got some stagnant air, looks like, and freezing fog as well. Air stagnation, things like that. So a lot of stuff going on there. Yeah, so this graphic doesn't have cold weather products on it. That's probably why it's not showing. But oh my goodness, look at the winter storm warnings. Still got winter storm watches depending where we're at. Dense fog advisories, ice storm warning into Mississippi, winter weather advisory parts of northern Alabama, all the way up the eastern seaboard into the mid-Atlantic. And the points north here on the edge of the northern edge of this uh, storm, winter weather advisories, just a wide expanse of unbelievable. I don't remember seeing this in quite a long time, right? So, man, the South, nothing here. Boo. But anyway, that's the way it goes sometimes. So, yeah, current hazards. So there's the local graphics for my area here for Georgia, right? There's an ice storm warning in the Gainesville area, Athens, Blairsville, right? Winter storm watch in the other areas. I wouldn't be surprised either upgraded to a winter storm warning or winter weather advisory. Um, Maybe some areas may not get it, but we'll have to see what they come up with here. Ice storm warning, ice accumulations of potentially a quarter to 1 inch here. So maybe mainly northeast Georgia and parts of central Georgia. So for middle Georgia, we're kind of on the edge here of this. So major impacts, very cold temperatures will follow this. So it's very important to understand that whatever may melt temporarily and remain on the roadways will refreeze overnight. So, and here are the freeze and rain ice probabilities, the 24th through the 25th, Saturday and Sunday. So, the chances of more than a quarter inch through 7 a.m. Sunday. So, what this means is that, and this is updated yesterday, so this will be updated again. And my other graphics, excuse me, showed this further out. But this is the only graphics that are available here. So, quarter inch possibilities, even in Macon, 4%, 50-60% up here into North Georgia, and half an inch probabilities are not zero up here in northeast Georgia, so be mindful of that. And I think it's worth posting this graphic because you need to be prepared, guys. So, this is important. And, check on your friends, the elderly, um, people who are less fortunate than you are. May not have access to the same stuff you do. So maybe help them out. You know what I'm saying? So, um, this is important. So, this is the European ensemble graphics for Middle Georgia, showing the wild temperature swings we'll experience here in Middle Georgia. Although I'm starting to think this may not be unrealistic to get to near 70 here, but I think this may be overdone still. But CAD wedge builds in Saturday some, and then maybe broken into Sunday. Potential for severe weather here, but the bottom drops out. You see 42 for highs, 40s generally highs all the way through February 2nd. Maybe getting to near normal as we get towards the end of the period, but still below normal expected here. Um, Although the range is higher here when we get further out, but so this is a European ensemble, right? I'm going to switch to the what the GSS shows next here. So this is a GFS ensemble, showing roughly the same thing, although temperatures aren't quite as high in the short term, but it's also showing these temperatures warming up and showing a colder low, but the GFS tends to have a cold bias, so but either way, it's going to be cold, teens, all right, overnight. And for everybody running the marathon this weekend, um, yikes, at the base, it's going to be it's going to be brutal, guys. Starting off temperatures in the teens Saturday morning. So anyway, you can see the temperatures are trending upward, but not that fast, not an extreme warming up by any means at this point. So let's be mindful of this. So this is the latest graphic showing the chance for at least 6 inches of snowfall, at least a quarter inch of freezing rain. So um, widespread freezing rain and sleet. All right, so sleet as well as freezing rain. Bitterly cold temperatures following that. You can read this, guys. 170 million people are going to be impacted by this. So, very important graphic here to keep in mind, okay? And this is the latest graphic about the extreme cold, and we talked about this already, but wind chills are already in the negative 40s, negative 50s Fahrenheit here, with the coldest temps moving to the south in the coming days, the 29th through the 4th here. So, just unbelievably cold. I don't remember it being this cold up in the northern part of the U.S. in a long time. So I'm sure there's going to be some records broken here. And here's the key messages for the Northeast snow squalls today. So this is kind of the precursor event going through. If you get caught in one of these, stop off the side of the road, put on your hazards, and wait for it to pass. So make sure your headlights are on, hazards and all that stuff, of course, but be careful out there. So, we know what's going on here. Day 3 to 7 U.S. hazards outlook. Interesting enough, out west here, hazardous cold in parts of Oregon, right? But the big story, sorry, West Coast, but we got a lot going on here. Hazardous cold in these different areas, heavy snow in these different areas, and freezing rain. And this is, the 22nd, let's see, the 25th through the 29th. So this is, the 23rd. So this is Sunday, right? So Sunday through, the middle of next week. So this is what you can expect, guys. And, buckle up. This is going to be a rough week or two. So, yeah, very impactful weather coming up here. So I'm going to run through this real quickly for the short term, right? We are using the NAM model. We're starting off today roughly 12Z, okay, which is 8 a.m. Eastern. Snow is breaking out in parts of Oklahoma, freezing rain and sleet here, depending on where you're at, right? Dallas, potentially some thunderstorms going on here, right? Austin, San Antonio, cold air is pushing the south here, and you see how far south it gets, the Dallas area, um, right, all the way in the southeast, southwest Texas, Oklahoma City, parts of Arkansas, Tennessee, Louisiana, parts of Mississippi getting in on this. This first initial push moves to the east. Another push of moisture with that upper level low slowly lumbering to the east here. Freezing rain, maybe some sleet into Memphis and point south into just north of Jackson, Huntsville. Not looking like it's going to get much. Could get some sleet, some freezing rain here. Right on the edge, right? Then we get into Sunday here, right? Let's see, this is Saturday, okay? And because this thing doesn't show that, so sorry about that. So there's a Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern down here at the bottom. You can see that, okay? So 9 Central, 8 Mountain Time, right? Move through time here. Large area of sleet, and you can't ignore this. I think this is maybe a little overdone, but I think it's pretty accurate. So Sunday morning, 1 a.m. Potentially heavy rain along the front side of this, and heavy freezing rain. You see where the frontal genesis is occurring here, and we can show that on a different map, but intense lift here, right? And we move this through time. Middle Georgia is kind of in this dry slot, so I'm kind of have my doubts about whether Middle Georgia is going to get much of anything other than maybe potentially severe weather here. But you see these intense bands, right? Surface low. And this is where this ends up. If we switch to just the NAM regional, a little less resolution, right? And we can go a little bit further out with this. Sunday, 1 p.m. So we go back. This is a 12-kilometer model. You see the resolution isn't as high. Surface low, you can see it developing offshore here already, right? This is projecting some sleet up into the New York area, right? So this could happen, guys. I don't know. This may be a little bit overdone with sleet. And we got this cold front moving through here with the surface low. Although there's some surface perturbations here, maybe moving through, that may enhance it looks like some convection here, moving through the south, Sunday night. So, although this will be the tail end here, and it may not be that bad, but we'll have to see, right? This moves offshore. On the backside, we have very cold air moving through, and then we're done with this for now. So this is the probabilistic precipitation portal, and this allows you to run through the dates here and show the expected amount of ice, snow in each 24-hour period. So starting at 06Z. So 06Z Friday, 06Z Saturday, which would be, this is the 08Z forecast cycle, okay? So already you're seeing between now and Saturday, because right now it's 8:08:26 Zulu, right? So now on Saturday, expecting, zoom in a little bit here, in Lubbock, expecting maybe about Lubbock area about I don't know, 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch of ice, right? Abilene about the same, and the surrounding areas less ice accumulation to start with here, right? Moving through Saturday, this is 24-hour accumulation, right? So 12Z Friday to 12Z Saturday, right? So each 24-hour period. So moving through time with this, right? So um, uh, 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch of ice in the just south of Abilene, San Angelo area, with a larger area of maybe 1/10 to 1/4 inch of ice as well. And you can see it's expanding eastward here, right? As the ice moves further eastward, like I said, there's a 24-hour period, so you're talking widespread, at least a 1/4 inch, well, 1/10 of an inch, 1/4 inch of ice accumulation through Saturday, and Saturday through Sunday. This is where it really picks up, right? We're talking 1/4 inch possibly here in these areas: Shreveport, Louisiana, Longview, Tyler, Monroe. Still in the San Angelo area. If you go back to total accumulation, right, for the whole thing, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but this is through Monday. Zoom in with this for expected 1 inch of ice here. Let me move my thing out of here. Exceedance probabilities are here, but the expected amount is 1 inch of ice total through Monday. Greenwood, Cleveland, Greenville, Mississippi, parts of Louisiana, Northeast Georgia. Moving over here. See if I can zoom in with this. It's not letting me do it. It's running kind of slow here. But you can see where the highest ice amounts are. So through the whole period, right? Let's go back. This thing to move. Isn't there we go. Sorry about that. See, the highest amounts are expected between Sunday and Monday here, just east of Starkville, where I went to school. So this swath of freezing rain, at least right now, will be the highest, like around 1 inch of freezing rain in this area, and Northeast Georgia. It's like in the mountainous terrain here, right? Charlotte begins, even Columbia, where my friend Mitch is here, and South Carolina, all up in the into North Carolina, Virginia. Getting some ice as well, so you can see how expansive this is. This is not a good situation here, guys. I hesitate to think that we're going to get this much ice here, but that's what it says. So when we look at the exceedance probabilities, let's see, greater than a 1/2 inch of ice. Northeast Georgia, looks like it has the highest percentage chance here of exceeding half-inch or more, and in parts of northern Mississippi. A friend of mine on Facebook lives in Huntsville here. Not looking like you're gonna get much ice, which is good, right? So, closer to 90 or 100% here in northeast Georgia. So, another forecast, guys. So, you can see as we move through time here where the highest probabilities are, right? We switch this back to a quarter inch, near 100% northern Mississippi here in northeast Georgia. So, be mindful of that. Look at this. 100%, almost 100% here, northeast Georgia. So, northeast Georgia looks like it's being in the crosshairs, and even in middle Georgia here, we're not out of the woods with this. The probabilities are not zero here, although actually it says it is. Interesting. Let's look at this here. It says exceedance and defines 0%, but it still has chance of 0.1 inch or more Sunday through Monday, 27%. So I'm not sure about this here. Chance of so this is the lower amounts. I know I'm kind of moving around here, but at least a tenth of an inch, right? This is a lower amount, right? 100% North Georgia, Mississippi, and Tennessee, and in North Carolina and parts of Virginia. So even going down even further, 1/100th of an inch, wide swath here, right? Going in the middle of Georgia. It's weird how it says 0% here, but then you hover over it and it's different values. So I'm not sure what the deal is with this, but interesting. But so, I mean, ice is going to be a big problem, guys. And we look at this. So we look at these seasons probabilities even higher. Quarter inch, at least an inch. So through the whole period. I don't know, this is kind of a weird graphic. But I kind of wonder why it says the expected amount is this. Right? But then the season's probabilities are this. Doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. I guess we'll roll with it. But anyway, this is from the National Weather Service, so I guess we should rely on it. But I have trouble believing we're going to get an inch of ice, but that's what the forecast is. So from the National Weather Service, so I guess we got to go with it. So we're going to switch up to snow next. So this is the expected snowfall amount, 66-hour accumulation from 07Z Friday, January 23rd to Monday, generally like midnight on the 26th. So, but we know, as we go through time, this is where the highest amounts are expected in Oklahoma, right? General 8, 9, 10 inches, right? And the highest amounts move further east into Missouri, Kentucky, and West Virginia. Getting some pretty high amounts here, and really high amounts in the higher terrain here as well. And then the system moves to the north here, parts of Maryland, southern New Jersey, parts of West Virginia, getting it, possibly 14, 15 inches of snow here. Then we look at the totals and zoom in a little bit. Enid, Stillwater, Tulsa, Oklahoma City's right on the edge here, but this includes sleet accumulation. So, And one thing we haven't talked about here is in the Colorado Rockies, you're going to be getting a fair amount of snow as well. So 24, 30 inches up here. And I'm going to bring up the sleet accumulation map. I just don't know how accurate it is, but it's on a different, I'll have to find that. But moving east into Missouri, Springfield, all these areas, trying to hover over it and get the amounts here, but 10 inches. So generally between 8 and 12 inches, all in these areas here. Evansville, Frankfort. Then you get into the mid-Atlantic, Northeast. A lot of points to look at here, right? I'm going to turn this off for now. So, um, 14 inches, right? And points up in here, don't think you're not going to get anything. This is just out of the range of this model, out of the range of this graphic. So only goes through Monday. We open up this graphic, we can see, well, this is Saturday through the whole graphic here. So you can see New York City 10 inches, Oklahoma City, Memphis 3, Raleigh 1 inch maybe, Denver maybe 1 inch. So you see what the swath of heavy snow is going to be. So I just wanted to show you why the experimental precipitation portal seems to be right. I mean, we look at the National Blend of Models from the National Weather Service is showing the same thing here, really. Close to 1 inch of ice accumulation expected here. It's hard to really see this here, so I'm going to go to the a more zoomed in look here. Although the amounts are less overall, so I mean the graphic kind of depicts it, but it's hard to tell the shading here. So here's the amounts. I mean, even a half-inch ice is highly impactful, right? So if we do get this, it's going to be incredibly bad. So yeah, we go to the east here. Yeah, half an inch here. So I think this is more realistic, right? And a little bit less here in parts of North Georgia. So, I guess we should take the medium ground here between the National Blend of Models and the portal, right? But even a quarter inch of ice is terrible. So need to keep that in mind here. So I'm going to show you the National Blend of Models going from west to east as well here. Starting off with out west here in Oklahoma. I just want to compare this to the portal. So, you can utilize the timestamps and go where you want to here, but Oklahoma points north here between 6 and you see where the highest amounts is 12 inches here. Further to the east, we move further east here, 8, 9, 7. The amounts get less here, right? And down south is where your ice is, okay? And so we move to the east with this. Wow, so 15, 20 inches. I wonder if this is a national one of the models, maybe showing potential for 20 inches of snow here. um, wow. Okay, in the Boston area, 18 inches in the New York City area total here. This is through Tuesday. So the event goes on and wow. So yeah, the Great Lakes, 20, 30 inches of snow. So very impactful event, especially for the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. And these amounts really don't build up till Sunday, right? You see, Sunday here is where we really get the heavy snow. So quite an impactful event from multiple ways, like freezing rain, snow. So uh, incredible event coming up here. Unfortunate too, because a lot of people are gonna lose power. and hopefully people take preparations to now, okay, or should already be prepared, but you know, now's the time. Yeah, guys, we have a dangerous situation up here in the northern tier of the U.S. Wind chills approaching -50 here today. This was at 07Z. I mean, they're not going to get above -30. Um, that is just unbearable, if you ask me, right? And maybe tomorrow, um, into Sunday in the -20 degrees, right? But then another push, near -50 up here. This is like Arctic cold, all right? You go to 2 meter temperature, actual temp, without wind, -20. This is unreal, guys. So, you know, let's look at the 24-hour. Well, we won't do that. But apparent temperature, Fahrenheit. Oh, this is Celsius. So, sorry, Fahrenheit. Yeah, Fahrenheit, -50. I had it on Celsius, guys. Sorry about that. But I mean, even to the southeast in the -30s, right? So we go to the east with this. Let's go to the east here. Cold air spills to the south here. Apparent temperatures in the single digits to negative single digits. And move through time with this. Moves to the east. We're talking Tuesday. Lows in the negative single digits. Apparent temperature. Actual temperature. Teens to single digits up here as well. And this is actual temps. I'm switching back to apparent temp. Wind chills in the negative single digits in the parts of the Midwest to the mid-Atlantic. Cold air spills even further to the east here. This is Wednesday, right? Wind chill values getting down in the 20s here into Georgia, all along the Gulf Coast, even into Central Florida. So go back to 2 meter temp here. So brutally cold as well. And this is worth talking about because this is going to continue, right? And maybe warming up some. We get towards the end of the week, like the 3rd of February. But this is National Blended Models temperatures. So this is talking about temperatures like not getting above 40s, right? So incredible cold air continuing here. So this isn't really talked about a lot, but it's important, right? Because people could die if they don't have any heat. So be careful out there, guys. So, yeah. So I wanted to go over this real quickly. This is a NAM, right? The NAM 3 kilometer, right? And you would look at this saying, are we really gonna get this much sleet here? All right. I would say in this case, yes. Less trees and rain and more sleet, given the depth of the cold air at the surface, right? So I took a sounding here from the this area, right? And now we're getting into the weeds here, but I wanted to show this and I wanted to bring up my pen here, analyze this a little bit, okay? If you'll permit me, right? So if you don't want to listen to this, you can certainly go to another part of the video. But interesting photograph here. You see this here? It's incredible. Like if we had you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we get thunder sleet with the amount of forcing and things going on. We'll talk about that as well, but the photograph, you would think you get a tornado or something, but you see down here, not likely, right? Although you still have some cape here, right? So I don't know, you know, but and you see the lapse rate at 36 kilometers, um, pretty steep. But so getting out of the context here, but there's a deep melt layer here, right, between 3 kilometer and about 1 kilometer here, right? So almost 10 Celsius. Is it overdone by the NAM? Probably a little bit, but that's way more than enough to melt the snowflake totally, right? But because the freezing layer is so deep here, it's almost I don't know, 4,000 feet at least, almost a mile, going up about 850 millibar. So in this case, it can refreeze. So there's two different things here that can happen with a snowflake. A shallow layer aloft could partially melt it. It remains like slush and then refreezes with, you know, not really deep temperatures, cold temperatures at the surface, although below freezing, right? In this case, because it's so cold at the surface and so deep, the freeze layer is so deep, it refreezes here. So I would say that we could be in for some heavy sleet in this area. So based on this sounding, I would tend to agree with what the model says. So yeah, I mean, interesting when we look at it, right? So we compare it to the GFS um, output here. The GFS has a different thermal profile for the same area, right? On the same time frame. And what's interesting about this is, in understanding it, is the GFS has a warm nose, but it's not nearly as deep, or it maybe gets to about, it doesn't even get close to zero, right? Go back to the NAM, totally different thermal profile. So, but the surface, uh, it's, see this here. I'm trying to look at the temperatures here, if this is in Celsius or what. Pretty sure this is Celsius. Yeah, it has to be. So negative 10 Celsius, right? So, and 10 Celsius here. So 0 Celsius, 32, right? And we go here. It's showing it like negative 10, the surface. So the GFS is showing it like colder at the surface too. So quite a lot of differences in the model here. So interesting. 06Z. All right. So I want to make sure I was comparing apples to apples here. So you can see what the difference is. Quite a big difference between GFS and the NAM. So, and the GFS doesn't have as high resolution, so that may be one of the reasons it tend to smooth out things on the atmosphere. Although it's hard to explain the temperature, surface temperature differences here. The NAM may be overdoing the warm air advection, but I don't know if it's overdoing it that much. So anyway, going back to this, quite impressive sleet totals here, and snow. We're gonna have two different rounds of snow here. right? We move through time with this. You can see where the heaviest snow will be into central Oklahoma here, and right along this boundary into we're gonna have sleet, heavy sleet potentially. And again, um, this is Sunday, another round moving through. The system finally kicks out, moves to the east, right? Um, and then cold air really dies down here to the south. So let's zoom out for a minute and go. Let's see if I can get further to the east here. All right. So we're going to the east here. I think it portrays the CAD wedge pretty well here. All right. So let's take a sounding from right here. Takes a minute to come up, guys, so bear with me with this. All right, so yeah, move this over to winter. It keeps generating severe sounding, but gotta let this come up. Excuse me. So you can see the thermal profile here. A very strong warm nose aloft. Now this may be overdone some as well, but you know, 0 degrees Celsius, dew point, and just barely above freezing here, right? So move back. Now you move a little further to the north here. Letting this sounding come up. This takes a minute. Thermal profile is different here, right? Change this to winter. I gotta make sure that it does this as I analyze this winter to start with, right? Um, so very deep warm nose and shallow air at the surface, freezing rain. All right, so let's move further to the north here, up into say North Georgia. Move through time with this a little bit. How about up here into South Carolina? One more sounding here, and then I'll stop chattering here. So, winter. All right. Yeah. So freezing rain still. Although I would say this is marginal. This was a little deeper cold air at the surface, right? We would get sleet. So this is a borderline. Look at that photograph. Low level. It's just it's crazy looking at that. I, you looked at that, you would be like, man, we're gonna get severe weather. So, I'm gonna take one more sounding here because this model right here is showing sleet, and I'm clicking on this area, and then the sounding says something different. So, um, interesting to look at this. Yeah, even on this one, freezing rain. So I think this is on the edge here, depending on how deep this cold layer is. So we go further north here where the cold layer is deeper, right? Let's go up to North Carolina one more time. Forgive me here. Go to winter, generate new sounding. Yeah, so this is why it's sleek, guys. See the dendritic growth layer is really large. from -12 to -17 C. All right, so 7 2700 and 1990. Yeah, it's weird. But anyway, this yellow line here, I don't, it's weird the way this is plotted, but anyway, you can see how deep the cold area here, how cold it is at the surface. So um and it doesn't really melt that much aloft either, so probably slush at this point. So interesting, a lot of interesting stuff here. Hope you don't mind me going over this stuff in detail. All right, so um, I hope y'all got something out of this here. So the 18-14 day temperature outlook continues this trend, although the northern tier of the U.S. may be warming up some, but near normal temperatures expected in that area, but with above normal out west here. Still below east of the Rockies for the most part. Near normal to above in Alaska. Near normal to above Aleutian Island and Hawaii as well. And the 8 to 14 day precip is showing where the suppression of the precip is expected with this high pressure and cold temps here, right? And near normal to the north and south of this boundary, and maybe getting above normal in the deep south and the parts of Florida and out west here. Alaska above the near normal. Aleutian Islands near normal, with Hawaii near normal as well. Yeah, so we looked at the 8 to 14 day hazards, and this echoes this sentiment. I mean, look at the below normal temperatures here. Alaska and west, out west, above near normal in other parts of Alaska, near normal Aleutian Islands, and above in Hawaii. But this is unbelievable here. So precip will be less than normal for a good portion of the country here, with the exception of the northern tier and maybe out west, and along the southern tier of the U.S. With the expansive high pressure um, suppressing precipitation. Depending where you're at in Alaska, near normal or above, and near normal to near normal or above in Hawaii as well, depending where you're at. So the 18-14 day temperature outlook continues this trend, although the northern tier of the U.S. may be warming up some, but near normal temperatures expected in that area, but with above normal out west here. Still below east of the Rockies for the most part. Near normal to above in Alaska. Near normal to above Aleutian Island and Hawaii as well. And the 8 to 14 day precip is showing where the suppression of the precip is expected with this high pressure and cold temps here, right? And near normal to the north and south of this boundary, and maybe getting above normal in the deep south and the parts of Florida and out west here. Alaska above the near normal. Aleutian Islands near normal, with Hawaii near normal as well. So I hope you found this video informative, and I get this graphic up to remind people what to do with this weather and the cold weather following it. So um, I hope y'all spent some time going through this. And got something out of it. I hope you all have a great day. Be safe out there. Love y'all, and God bless.